I'll see women who attract very avoidant men who are giving them hot and cold treatment. They'll love bomb them in the beginning, and I will tell them, why are you allowing him to do that to you? Like, why are you allowing him to treat you like this? And they're like, what do you mean? Like, he's lavishing me with gifts. He's giving me all that. And I'm like, yeah, that's weird. Why does he feel the need to lay it on so thick? Why does he feel the need to buy you all of these material possessions? Why is he promising you to fly you to Aruba? Like, why is he doing all this stuff and not showing you who he is? That is not who a person is. Who a person is who they are when all of the material possessions are stripped away, when all of that external stuff is gone. Who he is how he treats people. Who he is how he treats himself. Who he is his willingness to open up to you emotionally. I've been love bombed once in my life, and it ruined me for like 2 years. It really messed me up, this guy. And I realized I allowed it. And people are gonna say, like, that's victim blaming. No, it's not. In the beginning of a relationship, when someone's acting weird, it is your responsibility to not accept that weirdness, okay? And anyone who says, oh, I keep getting love bombed. Yeah, why are you allowing him to do that to you? You say no and pull away. I allowed this guy to love bomb me because it felt really good. My dopamine spiked for like several weeks straight. It was spiking. And then he would pull away and it would plunge, and I was a wreck. It took me a while to realize what was happening. And then I was still like enamored by him because it was, it was limerence. I was depressed, and I was using him as a way to focus my depression and anxiety onto a single individual. It was really messed up. It was messed up behavior on my part. Sure, he shouldn't have love bombed me, but I allowed it to happen because I had a psychological wound in me that I was not addressing. And that was a low self-worth. And I felt like I was not attractive enough. I felt like, oh my God, this person is showing me how much he desires me. And I was trying to hold on to that as long as I could. And that it's not going to work long term. And you will not attract stable people that way. I do not attract abusive men into my life anymore because I cut that off right away. I recognize what may seem like innocuous behaviors as actual red flags, such as the incessant love bombing in the beginning, or the breadcrumbing, or asking you to send photos. Ugh, that's just like a nudes roulette, right? And so frequently there will be men out there who are just so like, they're so starved for affection because they don't get normal affection through their platonic friendships that they will smother you in affection in the beginning. It's not necessarily nefarious, but it is harmful. And they will not cut themselves off from you. They're going to want all of you all at once. In a few weeks, they're going to try to see you like 24/7. And it is because they have never learned how to regulate and be in a safe, emotionally vulnerable relationship that women constantly are in with our friends. We know how to have those relationships. It is a skill that men don't have. In the beginning, if he is smothering you and saying he's going to show you the world and he wants to see you all the time and he wants you to send him photos of yourself and he's sending you photos of him, and first of all, cut the texting out. Second of all, just tell him tell him no and see how he responds. If a simple no, if a simple not this week or not now or whatever, or I need to go do work makes him back off forever, good. What? Like, how is it that easy? It shouldn't be that easy. One no should not cut that person off from your life forever. Like a respectful no is not never talk to me again. But if that's how they hear it, you don't want anything to do with that person. There's a guy on TikTok. He goes by Daddy Academy. He has a lot of like very prescriptive sort of advice. It's very much a like women need to be chased and men do the chasing and all that stuff. So he subscribes to that. But he does have this very apt analogy where he says men are like 12-year-old boys and women are Sour Patch Kids. And if you are a 12-year-old boy and you get access to Sour Patch Kids and you start eating them up, oh my God, they taste so good. And then out of nowhere, you get a stomach ache because it's just too much. And then they pull away forever. I think that's a very funny way to describe avoidant attachment. But that's what it is, right? It's somebody like essentially trying to gain all of the affection they can from you. And then out of nowhere, their nervous system comes in and dials down the affection. It's like, oh, you don't like this anymore. Women talk about getting the ick, but men don't talk about it that way. They just sort of have a nervous system reaction where it's like, oh, I'm good. I'm good with that. We've got enough. Now we're getting too close. Now it's getting a little too intimate and too connected. Or, oh, she's starting to show actual human emotions. I don't like that. right? People do not know how to regulate themselves. It's really that simple. And you may also not know how to regulate yourself, but you're watching this video, so I suspect you're working on it. It all comes down to navigating other people. And it's an interesting process.